welcome back to my channel, Wildling Living with Kendra. I am so elated you decided to join me. Thank you so very much. So, listen, today's discussion is going to be, how do you know when it's over, when you need to move on out the door? Because I know, I've been guilty of it. We try to hold on, we're grasping for straws, and they've already left. Like, they've checked out. And you're like, so, how can you distinguish some of the signs where you're like, okay, I see where this is headed. I need to mentally prepare myself because they've checked out. So, sometimes it takes people a little longer to figure it out, but the relationship is over. So, five signs that I feel are telling to let you know that the relationship is done. You need to move forward. So, number one, we're going to get right into it. Number one, there's been a lack of communication. So, I am very much so keen on communicating both ways. Like, one person shouldn't be overcompensating and carrying the entire relationship because they're the ones who initiates the conversations. There's the one who is referring to what we're going to do. What did you do? How was your day? This was my day. One person shouldn't carry that load. And I'm not saying that you're going to be in a relationship with someone who's used to being expressive, because everyone isn't naturally forthcoming with information. But if your relationship is where, oh, he tells me how his day is going, he's talked to me about his family, she's talked to me about XYZ, I know this as a baseline that we'll have these types of discussions. And you see that they're becoming a little withdrawn when it comes to communication. That could be a telling sign that, hey, I'm really not as connected to this individual. So I'm slowly backing out of what I would normally share with them. So that's number one. Number two, there's a lack of emotional connection. So again, this is in tandem also what I say communicating. Like, you're more expressive to say, hey, this bothers me. I'm really not feeling, well, I don't particularly care for this. I'm excited. So this goes not just for the woe is me, but also your highs, your lows, your mediums, your all of the in between as well. If you sense that your partner is no longer being expressive as far as their emotional state, they're slowly or they've already checked out. So normally when people, are excited about something, typically the person will express that excitement. If they're kind of indifferent, you'll know. If they're not particularly happy about a certain situation, they will voice that. It's a way that they convey that. So if they're not, you might want to check that out. And so, number three, you really don't know what's going on in the social realm. You used to be all in the mix with the social gatherings, that's with their friends, their families. And now you're like, okay, I knew such and such had a birthday or was around the corner. And this one particular person always throws a party. You're no longer in the mix. There might be a reason for that. It's because you're no longer in the group anymore. You're no longer a part of that circle. So if your person is very social and now you're not included in those activities, family, friends, travel, you're no longer a part of that. That's a red flag to say, hey, they've already packed up and moved out. Maybe not in a physical sense, but mentally, right? So the next one, so you got all that, right? So the next one, I would say they don't refer to you in their future. They might speak about the future, but in no context are you in the future plans. So people can talk to you about their future and it makes you assume, oh, he still talks to me or she still talks to me about her future. Like, oh, when I do this, I'll do that. I'll do this. I'll do that. And it no longer has a reference to we, us, if it's not inclusive, they're not checking for you anymore. It is, they've already moved on out, right? They've already separated the two. So it is no longer us. It is I. It's no longer we. It's just it's just me. Okay. So lastly, they're no longer interested in what you have to say. Like you're talking about your new developments in your life, personal, professional, whatever successes that you have coming on board. Like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And they don't care. They have not provided any feedback. And I'll say this, normally some people do and some people don't, depending upon the person that you have. If they're normally like, hey, that's so great, babe, you're going to do great, I'm proud of you, that's wonderful, that's this, that's that. If they do not inquire about your new developments, if they are not happy about your successes, even if they don't voice their concern about, hey, this is a potential downside of what you're saying or anything of the sort, they don't care, right? So, with all those things, you really need to start understanding that this relationship is not on the up and up. They're either transitioning out or already out from a mental perspective. They're just waiting for the right time to physically leave, right? So if you've experienced any of these 5 things currently in your current relationship, if you're trying to salvage the relationship, you might want to have a conversation. If you've gotten 5 out of 5, I would just say, hey bro, hey sis, just pack your bag, say, hey, I see where you're going with this, and we can have a conversation to close this phase out of our lives so we can move on and then just transition gracefully, right? So I hope you were able to glean something from this message. Last thing, if you have not subscribed already and you've watched this video, please, 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 I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe, also comment and like. So thank you for tuning in, and bye for now.